Hello and thank you for tuning into this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Himachal Pradesh Assembly passes bill raising marriage age for women from 18 to 21. Supreme Court stayed Ayush Ministry's notification due to concerns over misleading advertisements. NGT fines Punjab government rupees 1,000 crore for poor waste management. Centers for Promotion of 4 classical languages demand autonomy for proper functioning. Union Health Minister launches National Medical Register portal. Let us start with the very first news. In a significant move, the Himachal Pradesh Assembly has passed the Prohibition of Child Marriage Himachal Pradesh Amendment Bill 2024, which raises the legal age of marriage for women from 18 to 21 years. This amendment to the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 marks a bold step towards ensuring gender equality and safeguarding the rights of women in the state. Earlier in June 2024, a central bill, Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021, lapsed in Lok Sabha, which aimed to bring uniformity in the age of marriage for men and women. The 2021 bill was based on the recommendations of Jaya Jaitley Committee. Raising the marriage age for women to 21 is a crucial step towards securing the constitutional mandate of gender equality. Currently, the legal marriage age for men is 21, and this amendment seeks to align the age of marriage for both genders. One of the key benefits of this amendment is the positive impact it will have on women's reproductive health. By allowing women more time to mature physically and psychologically before marriage, the amendment is expected to lower the maternal mortality rate and reduce the incidence of teenage pregnancies. Moreover, it empowers women by enabling better education and employment outcomes. This legislative change also aligns with global goals such as Sustainable Development Goal 5, that is gender equality, and Sustainable Development Goal 10, that is reduced inequalities. However, there are concerns associated with raising the marriage age. One of the primary concerns is the potential increase in illegal marriages, as some sections of the population may resort to non-institutional marriages to circumvent the law. This could particularly impact marginalized communities where child marriage is still prevalent. Another issue is the potential misuse of the law by parents who may use it to control their daughter's choice of partners, leading to an increase in beta-son preference and female feticide. Additionally, simply raising the marriage age does not address the deep-rooted social and cultural patriarchal norms that contribute to early marriage in the first place. To address these concerns, it is essential to complement this legislative change with other measures. For instance, the formalization of sex education in school curricula could play a pivotal role in educating young people about the importance of delaying marriage. Specific programs focused on improving girls' health and nutrition should also be developed to support the objectives of the new law. Looking back at the historical context, the Child Marriage Restraint Act of 1929, also known as the Sarda Act, was the first law to set the minimum age of marriage in India, 14 years for girls and 18 years for boys. This was later replaced by the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, which raised the minimum age to 18 for brides and 21 for grooms. The latest amendment by Himachal Pradesh builds upon these earlier efforts, further advancing the cause of gender equality in the country. In a recent and significant ruling, the Supreme Court put a stay on a notification issued by the Ministry of Ayush, driven by concerns over misleading advertisements. This decision is part of the ongoing case Indian Medical Associations and Another versus Union of India and Others 2022, where the court took issue with the ministry's omission of Rule 170 from the Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. This rule specifically prohibits misleading advertisements of Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani drugs. Earlier, in May 2024, the court had already issued orders aimed at curbing the spread of misleading advertisements. These orders included provisions like self-declaration by advertisers, a step designed to protect consumers from the dangers of exaggerated or false claims, particularly in health-related advertisements. Misleading advertising is a serious concern as it involves any published claim that misrepresents a product or service to consumers, leading them to believe something that isn't true. The implications of such misleading advertisements are vast. They violate the fundamental rights of consumers to accurate information and the ability to make informed choices. When it comes to health products, the stakes are even higher, as misleading claims can lead to serious health risks, potentially endangering lives. Ethically, the practice of prioritizing profitability over the efficacy of a product is deeply concerning. Often, these advertisements lack transparency, overstating benefits while downplaying or completely omitting the risks, leading the public to believe into a false sense of security. The continuous exposure to such misleading information can shape public perception and influence behavior, eroding trust and making it difficult for consumers to make conscious, informed decisions. To address these concerns, it is essential that advertisers are encouraged to provide full and accurate disclosure about their products. Self-declaration can play a key role in ensuring transparency. Moreover, effective regulatory oversight is necessary, with laws being stringently implemented to hold advertisers accountable for misleading claims. The government has already taken steps to combat misleading advertisements. The Central Consumer Protection Authority issued the guidelines for prevention of misleading advertisements and endorsements for misleading advertisements 2022. Additionally, the Department of Consumer Affairs launched the GAMA, or Grievances Against Misleading Advertisements portal for online complaint registration. Furthermore, the Drugs and Magic Remedies Objectionable Advertisements Act 1954 continues to play a critical role by prohibiting advertisements for remedies that claim to possess magical qualities, protecting consumers from being deceived by baseless claims. In conclusion, the Supreme Court's decision to stay the Ayush Ministry's notification highlights the need for vigilance in protecting consumer rights, especially in the health sector.
In a landmark ruling, the National Green Tribunal has imposed a hefty fine of Rs 1,000 crore on the Punjab government for its abysmal waste management practices. The substantial penalty comes in response to the state's failure to manage legacy waste and untreated sewage, a negligence that has long plagued its urban landscapes. The entity's order demands that the fine be deposited with the Central Pollution Control Board, signaling a strong stance against environmental mismanagement. Punjab's waste management woes are not isolated. Across India, the framework for municipal solid waste management is governed by the Environment Protection Act of 1986, empowering the central government to prevent environmental pollution. The Solid Waste Management Rules 2016 further mandate urban local bodies to establish comprehensive waste collection, transportation, processing and disposal systems. Yet, the reality on the ground is grim. Challenges abound. Public attitudes towards waste, poor segregation at source, and the lack of strategic MSW plans are just the tip of the iceberg. Municipal authorities often grapple with budget constraints, and the availability of qualified waste management professionals remains limited. Compounding the issue, cities still lack accurate data on waste generation, including composition and quantities. However, all is not lost. The path forward lies in embracing a circular economy where waste is viewed as a resource, maximizing recycling, recovery, and reuse. A robust independent authority dedicated to regulating waste management is crucial. Long-term planning involving private sector partnerships and NGOs could also pave the way for more sustainable waste management practices. Now, the National Green Tribunal, established under the NGT Act of 2010, continues to uphold its mandate as a specialized judicial body providing effective remedies in environmental cases. Guided by principles of natural justice, its decisions are binding, aiming to protect our environment for future generations. In summary, the NGT's action against the Punjab government serves as a stern reminder that environmental negligence will not go unnoticed.
In our next news, let's look at a growing demand for autonomy among the centers dedicated to the promotion of four of India's classical languages: Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia. These languages, along with Tamil and Sanskrit, hold the esteemed status of classical languages in India. Tamil, recognized as a classical language in 2004, enjoys the support of an autonomous institute, the Central Institute of Classical Tamil. Sanskrit, declared classical in 2005, is promoted through 3 central universities. However, the centers established to promote Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia operate under the Central Institute of Indian Languages in Mysuru. One of the primary issues raised is financial dependency. Unlike the CICT, which operates independently, the centers for Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia must seek financial approval from the CIIL for any event or activity they plan. Another pressing concern is the high vacancy rate in these centers. For example, the Center of Excellence for Studies in Classical Telugu in Andhra Pradesh has only 12 staff members out of an approved 36 positions, severely limiting its capacity to undertake scholarly and promotional activities. Moreover, there is a stark disparity in funding between Sanskrit and the other classical languages. Between 2017 to 18 and 2019 to 20, the Union government spent Rs 643.84 crore on promoting Sanskrit, while only Rs 29 crore was allocated to the other 5 classical languages combined. The status of a classical language in India comes with significant benefits, including the establishment of a Center of Excellence for Studies in the language and the awarding of 2 major international prizes annually to scholars of eminence in the field. The University Grants Commission is also requested to create a certain number of professional chairs in central universities for classical languages. The criteria for declaring a language as classical are stringent. The language must have a high antiquity of its early text or recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. It must possess a body of ancient literature or text considered a valuable heritage. And its literary tradition must be original and not borrowed from another speech community. Additionally, the classical language and its literature should be distinct from modern forms, and there may be a discontinuity between its classical and modern iterations.
In a prominent step towards enhancing transparency and accountability in the healthcare sector, the Union Health Minister today launched the National Medical Register portal. This pioneering initiative aims to create a comprehensive and authenticated database of all registered allopathic doctors across India, marking a new era of digital healthcare. Mandated under Section 31 of the National Medical Commission NMC Act 2019, the NMR is more than just a list. It's a robust system designed to safeguard the integrity of India's medical profession. The Ethics and Medical Registration Board of the NMC is responsible for maintaining this electronic national register, which will include names, addresses, and qualifications of all licensed medical practitioners. What sets the NMR apart is its linkage with the Aadhaar ID of doctors, ensuring the authenticity of each individual in the system. It aids in interlinking the state medical councils involved in verification of registrations. In terms of its significance, it strengthens the digital healthcare ecosystem, ensures transparent access to quality medical professionals, consolidates public trust in healthcare, etc. The National Medical Commission, a statutory body that replaced the Medical Council of India in 2020, stands at the forefront of this transformative initiative. With its mandate to improve access to quality and affordable medical education, the NMC has been instrumental in ensuring the availability of competent medical professionals across India. Its functions extend to policy formulation and regulation of medical education, medical institutions, medical researchers, and medical professionals. Also, to frame guidelines for fee determination for 50% seats in private medical institutions and deemed to be universities. And lastly, to assess requirements of healthcare and develop a roadmap for meeting requirements.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Recently, the Governor of Karnataka gave approval for investigation for prosecution of the Chief Minister. There is a requirement of grant of sanction before prosecution of a public servant to protect public servants from malicious prosecution. 7th Anubhav Award ceremony is to be held in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. Anubhav Awards are given by the Department of Pensioners Welfare. Experts believe that Iran can launch an attack on Israel through its Axis of Resistance coalition. Axis of Resistance is a network of autonomous militant Islamist groups led by Iran, and its roots goes back to the Iranian Revolution of 1979. RBI held that India's rural economy is playing the role of green shoots in the fast-moving consumer goods sector. Green shoots are signs that an economy or a sector is growing after an economic downturn. India's first additional Tier 1 perpetual bond was issued after recent rule changes to make them more appealing. Perpetual bonds are fundraising instruments that do not carry any maturity date as bonds usually do. Solar paraboloid technology is being seen as the frontier technology in improving solar energy efficiency. It is an advanced form of concentrating solar power and operates using a parabolic trough collector. WMO State of the Climate in the Southwest Pacific 2023 report showcases that sea level rise is faster in the Pacific Ocean than global average. Pacific Islands are at high risk due to the increasing sea level, despite accounting for merely 0.02% of global emissions. Indian Immunologicals Limited, in collaboration with Griffith University, has developed a needle-free intranasal booster vaccine against SARS-CoV-2 using CDT. CDT is a technology which involves decreasing the frequency of underrepresented codon pairs, genetic determinants for amino acids, without changing the amino acid sequences. Bharat Biotech launched its oral cholera vaccine, Hilcol. Hilcol vaccine is an inactivated single-strain oral vaccine suitable for children older than 1 year. It will address the global shortage of cholera vaccines. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solution to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.